Really not bad.
He's got a Never Dead on.
Oh god. Appreciate the streak. Big crease. We're pushing on rack hard over here legit.
I'll just X the Emperor.
Oh nice.
What's happening, motherfuckers? So, first of all, let me apologise for the audio quality. Normally I always do this in post, but I've got a very busy weekend ahead of me. So I just thought, let me just get this build out, because I've been sitting on it for a little while. And I know you'd prefer it out than in. Haha. So, let me get into the build. I've got another preference over here that I'll show you in a minute. But first of all, I'm going to show you this one, why I like it, why I run it. And yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, we got the front bar is 2 axes of mechanical acuity, and we're running the Shadow Mundus because I'm a cat. If you want to be Xing, I'd probably go for an Imperial because you might get more out of the passives, but if you want the most bang for your buck, because this is a crit damage build, then I'd go for a Khajiit. 2 axes if you want a little bit more pen so that you can just have more in general just whilst you're out of your ult, then you can put 1 mace on. It's not going to really make or break this build, but I would prefer to just go for 2 axes because when you burst, it's a lot more vicious. On the back bar, you've got your Wretched Vitality Sword and Board. You don't really need to weave because your regen's so high on this build when everything's cooking. So, if you want, you can run an Ice Staff just to weave, but I wouldn't recommend it. Don't need it. And your resistances are much better like this anyway. So, powered and reinforced. We've got Hakijos on absolutely everything, and if you're more comfortable playing mag, then I guess you can go for 4 light and 3 heavy, so that you can get a bit more base pen. But I don't think it works well when you're trying to kite people and build up a burst. You want to be in medium for a bit more speed, a bit more damage overall. So you got your Balorgh. So when we drop our ult, we get our pen, and then if you think like logically, if we've got let's go to front bar. We've got 2,300 pen, which is nothing, basically, right? But then if you add on the damage from Shulk, then you're going to get basically 9k from the bottom down there. So we're already sitting at like 11k. And then if we dropped our Balorgh ult, we're probably going to get another 2-3k. So it puts us at about 13-14. If you really want, you can go and put on like 1 sharpened and get a little bit more, but you don't need it. But yeah, so you've got your Balorgh there, 1 trainee, and 4 medium on the body of Wretched Vitality and Mechanical Acuity. Your mythic is going to be Saint and Seducer, Bloodthirsty, and 2 infused. A lot of my boys just run all Bloodthirsty. They feel like it does more. Personally, I feel like I get more out of this, but that's all preference. Let's go into the skills quickly. We've got Lotus on the front because when we proc our mechanical, we're going to get great heals out of it. Plus it gets crit, so brilliant for this build. Bird of Prey, increased damage and good speed if we ever need to get out of dodge. This is where a lot of people get confused. With the contingency, you can change it up and have a few different things in it. But personally, I like to have frost damage because you're a Warden. It's nice to have a little bit of extra AoE damage as well. Obviously, you put the class mastery for the charmed. And then I added extra crit damage so that, when I'm doing my crits, I get more damage. Derp. There's the Shulk, and I know the tooltip on this is pretty low, but when everything's all cooking again, you're going to be hitting people for between 10 and 13k on average. It's a nasty move. We're not actually using Dawnbreaker on the front, it's more for the Fighters Guild passive, so that's that. Back bar, Living Tendrils so we can get our minor mending. We've got Bayonet for obvious reasons. Polar Wind because it's a great heal. Ice Fortress because that's going to proc our Wretched Vitality. and Vigor, which is kind of a flex spot. If you want, you can put on Shimmer and Shield and just get more ult, but I prefer to have Vigor on for the heal and the resistances. And then obviously you've got your Northern Storm, which is when you go on the offense, you're going to hit that, swap bar, and then just smoke people with your spammable. And I know it comes out of your health, but one, it's free because it's not coming out of your mag or your stam, and you get used to it. It's not like you're going to be chasing people around at 5k health trying to spam it. You'd just be an idiot to do that. But yeah, let's get into the CP. This works in BGs just as well as it works in open world, but you know, if you are going open world, then this is the CP I like to use. I use Fighting Finesse for, you know, the extra crit damage, extra AoE damage, more extra crit damage, and either Ironclad, because Ironclad's great to keep me from getting, you know, smacked by people like Nightblades when they're jumping you, or there was, what was the other one? But it's a flex spot. Ironclad or, oh, that was it. Oh no, that's not it. Oh, that's the one, yeah, Cleansing. If you're by yourself, you can put Cleansing on instead of Ironclad, because that basically works like a Purify if you're by yourself. Get some dots off you when you're low health. In the red tree, we've got Survival Instincts, because you're always going to have a status effect on you. So 25% reduced cost, which is great because we're a vampire, so it kind of balances out a little bit. Relentless, if you're stunned, 10% damage reduction. You know, OP as fuck. It's one of the best things in there. Fortified, kind of a flex spot. I like to have high armor all the time, but you don't really need that. And extra health, obviously, you know, for typical reasons. If you don't want to have the flex spot of the armor, I'd probably go with Pain's Refuge, because you're going to probably have at least 6 negative effects on you when you're fighting outnumbered, which, you know, that's already 6% damage reduction. And if you get stunned, then you've got the extra damage reduction down here. So it just makes it a lot harder to kill you. Plus being a vampire, you've got more damage reduction. So yeah, that's what I use for the red tree. I don't care about the green tree. If you care about the green tree, then you're a nerd, because you know, that doesn't help you kill anyone. Typically, what your combo is, you're going to have your Lotus up all the time. If you ever need to move around quickly, save yourself from sprinting, because obviously you don't want to burn your stamina out. You can just, you know, quickly press wings and walk around. Makes you a lot quicker. Keep your Netch up all the time. So Netch and Lotus are always going to be up. Tendrils if you ever need it. And when you're in combat, to keep your Wretched up. You're going to be sustaining on the back bar for most of the fight. So like all the time you're going to be on your back bar, just sustaining, doing your thing. That way you're not going to proc your mechanical acuity. Now when you do want to go on the offensive, you're going to hit your contingency, so that's up, rush in there, get your shalk procced, and then start spamming your burst. And you're seeing that it's hitting for, you know, 24k, which on players that's easily hitting for between 10 and 12k, or 10 and 13k or whatever. And this is with the recovery version of this build. So you're going to see I didn't even hit a pot, and the recovery was already pretty nice. You know, let's just go in there quickly and hit a pot on one of them, and show you exactly what that would be if we was in combat. There we go, and you know, nasty recoveries, right? That's how I like to play. If you've got a lot of recovery, then obviously, you know, you can do a lot more with it. But if you are playing with a group of friends and you want to be a little bit more helpful, you don't mind having a little bit less recovery because you're a mega chad, then you could swap out the Wretched Vitality and put on Rallying Cry on the back bar. So exactly the same as what you was doing. Rallying Cry on one body, Rallying Cry here, and Rallying Cry on the back bar. And you still have decent recoveries, you know, but when you are in combat now, I'm not gonna get hit, so I'm not gonna be able to proc the crit resistance. But you're gonna be able to get the additional crit resistance, the additional damage, give that to your friends, you know, and your recoveries are still good. You know, that's not bad recoveries at all. So hopefully you can use this build, go out there and shit on people. But I would say something funny, but I'm tired and I'm pretty baked, so I'm glad I got this recorded. Hopefully you can go and enjoy this build. And as always, peace, motherfuckers.
Alright, let's get it. Going in deep. Oh,
Get him right there. We get crow.
oh.
We get crow. Get their crow.
Get him.
Crow's coming in.